Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, as you can see from the title, I really wanted to say thank you for 1K. I literally cannot believe that 1,000 people enjoy my videos. I love replying to your comments and just connecting more with you. And I thought, what better way to do that than to do a giveaway as a thank you. So the giveaway is going to be my favorite book from last year, one of my favorite books from last year, which is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. If you know me, if you've seen some videos, I honestly always mention her book. I want to give you the book and also a print of one of my paintings, which I'm so excited for someone to own one of my pieces. Fun fact, I used to sell my artwork on Etsy, not anymore, but it's something that I might do in the future as well. So yeah, if you want to have a chance at winning one of my prints and Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk, then all you have to do is comment down below where you're from and what your favorite book of all time is, and I think I'll give it maybe 2 weeks, yeah, I'll pick a winner. So as you can see from the title, the content of this video is going to be focused on my holy trinity books, or authors more so. So yeah, if you're interested, carry on watching. So I really wanted to make a video about these 3 authors that have literally changed the way I view life. And yeah, I kind of like to refer to them to my holy trinity, because it's just these 3 women, their books just work so well together, and I feel like they made me the person I am today. And they are Ernaux from France, Olga Tokarczuk from Poland, and Clarice Lispector from Brazil. I honestly feel like these 3 women have single-handedly made me feel so seen, and more from a transcendental level than from a superficial one. I feel like what they have in common is just such a recognition of our essence beyond appearances or words. And I feel like this is something achieved when someone perceives you at your core of what you are. Honoring your spirit, your truths, and I just feel so seen by these 3 authors. So we're gonna start off by Clarice Lispector. She's an author that was born in Ukraine, and then she moved to Brazil, where she fully developed as a writer. Her writing is known to be more of an experimental type of writing, where she mixes non-linear writing with a stream of consciousness. And I think I've mentioned this in all of my journaling related videos, that this is something that I've learned from her, and it's just to write as your thoughts come to yourself, which is something that I've never actually read in a book, and so well done as this book that I have here, which is Agua Viva. So Agua Viva translates to the stream of life, but it also, Agua Viva is also the name of a jellyfish in Spanish. It is written in a fragmented stream of consciousness style that immerses the readers in the protagonist's immediate thoughts and feelings. So it's kind of like your thoughts are flowing in a way, in the way that the river flows. There's no structure, there's no 1, 2, 3 like steps of the story. It's just the thoughts of the protagonist and how they come to her. And I feel like this way of writing fully encapsulates the fluidity of our consciousness, but also the complexity of existence. While she's talking about her thoughts, it is also a very philosophical book, and it meditates about the nature of our existence, about time, and also about consciousness. The narrator often talks about what it means to be alive, what her life means to her, and also what it means to live authentically, and how time shapes human understanding. Because the protagonist is also an artist, it also touches upon the creative process, the artist's relationship to the world. So as you can see, talking about the flow of consciousness, Agua Viva, which is stream of life, there's a lot of symbolism on water. This symbolism of water flows throughout the whole novel. It is used as a symbol of, like I said, fluidity, change, and also the passage of time. Water both represents life and impermanence. Much like the stream of consciousness, in which the narrator is immersed. So the constant movement of water parallels the constant flux of thoughts that you have, experiences, emotions, and there's this kind of underlying mystique that runs throughout the whole novel as well. There's a lot of quotes in this book that I love, but I remember one, let's find it, where there's a quote where the author tries to, or the narrator tries to kind of capture the moments of life. And she says, "And so when I die, I'll never have been born and lived. Death washes away the traces of sea foam on the beach. Now it is an instant. Here is another now, and another. My effort to bring now the future to here. I move inside my deep instincts which carry themselves out blindly. I feel that I am near springs, pools, and waterfalls, all with abundant waters, and I free." It's just so incredible. Also, I don't recommend just Agua Viva, I recommend all the books by Clarice Lispector. And the art of this book, incredible, stunning. I'm just obsessed. Now I want to move on to our next author, which is Olga Tokarczuk. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to enter the giveaway to win this book, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, then comment down below where you're from and what is your favorite book. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Olga, who is one of the most celebrated Polish contemporary authors, who was also awarded the Nobel Prize of Literature in 2008. Her writing is mostly known for her narrative innovation, and her works often blur the boundaries between genres, blending elements of magic realism, historical fiction, and philosophical meditation as well. I love that her books touch on human identity, individual consciousness, and overall the complexity of just being alive. Her novels, or the ones that I've read so far, often talk about protagonists that are going on through their personal journeys of self-discovery, questioning them, especially when it comes to questions about morality, and also time, fate. She also often explores fundamental human questions like, why are we alive? Why are we here? What it means to exist, how we can relate to the world, and also how we can navigate suffering and change. She also challenges the reader to think about topics that sometimes are not very touched upon, which is, for example, talking about marginalized groups, about ethics or ethnic minority, and also displaced people. In a lot of her work, she slightly touches on themes of nature, ecology, and our relationship as humans to the environment. In the book Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, Tokarczuk touches on the morality, the justice, and humanity's treatment of animals through the lens of an very eccentric narrator with very strong ethical convictions. And let me tell you, I absolutely adored the protagonist of this book. She was an old lady, and I honestly don't read a lot of books where the main narrator is an old lady, because maybe, I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't relate to the protagonist that much. I was so wrong. Like, I want to be this old lady when I grow up. It was such a good read, and once I was like really into the story, it was so hard to put down. Whereas in the book Flights delves into the philosophical reflections of what it means to travel, the body, and the impermanence of life. And she often talks about what it means to belong and also move through this world. It's written in a very different way. Like, it doesn't follow like a storyline. There's like different little chapters, which could be like one page. So she touches on very different topics. It almost feels like a meditation on movement and migration. So the book, it's called Flights. And I think there's a whole chapter just about airports. I never really stopped and thought about airports. It's just this place that we go to that feels like a stop in time where we travel from. I don't know. The chapter airports is just amazing. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't follow like a straight story. The narrator feels like it's just telling little stories here and there. They're kind of connected as well. It feels like you get a more of a kaleidoscopic view of the themes that I mentioned. Honestly, 100% you need to start reading Olga Tokarczuk. These two books are just incredible. I saw in a bookshop that there's another book. It's called Imposium or something. So that's gonna be my next read, I think. It looks really good. There's this little chapter in here about roots and feeling like you belong. And it was at the start, and honestly, there was this drawing as well, which I love here, of the roots. Then they would lead a settled life for the next year, going back every morning to the same thing they had left in the evening. Their clothes permitted by the scent of their own flat, their feet tirelessly wearing down a path in their carpet. That life is not for me. Clearly, I did not inherit whatever gene it is that makes it so that when you linger in a place, you start to put down roots. I've tried a number of times, but my roots have always been shallow. I relate to this immensely. If you're someone that has had to move a lot, I think this is very, very, very relatable. That for some people, it's just natural for them to put down roots and just feel like they're not gonna move again. But for others, like me, I feel like I'm in a constant move, and I just find it hard to put down my roots and kind of build a community. So this chapter was just so important and relatable to me. I don't know. It was just incredible. Finally, we have the third author of the Holy Trinity, and that is, of course, Annie Ernaux. She is a contemporary author. She's celebrated by her deeply introspective autobiographical book. In all of her books, or as far as I know, she explores memory, identity, and also social history. She also received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2022. Very well deserved, because let me tell you, do not get fooled by how thin a lot of her books are. She says so much and so little. Each paragraph feels like a weight on my shoulders. It feels like, oh my God, like this woman is speaking to me. A lot of her writing is rooted in the exploration of the passage of time and memory. And that also encompasses its fragility, its reconstruction, and also how it shapes our identity. She examines how individual and collective memories intersect, and she often links her personal experiences to whatever is happening in the world at the time. She also examines class and the tension that there exists between her middle class or working class upbringing to then moving when she's older to the more bourgeoisie kind of living. So I have two books here by her. This is A Man's Place and Shame. In A Man's Place, or what in French is known as La Place, she reflects on her father's life, on the sacrifices that he had to do for her family. Also explores the cultural and economic hardship that she had to endure to kind of move the social, I guess, ladder. Her very sharp observation on this kind of a class dynamic where you move from one class to the other, whether you were able to go to uni and your parents didn't, that kind of stuff, deeply resonated with me. I'm the first generation of I'm the first generation to be able to go to uni comfortably and have like a corporate job and all of that. So I feel like this book was deeply like moving to me. If you've experienced, of course, if you haven't, I would still recommend the book because it's an amazing piece of literature. But if you've experienced something similar where you feel like your upbringing was different to the kind of life that you can have now, after so much sacrifice from your parents or your grandparents, or your family in general, you'll be able to really resonate with this book. Her writing style is very raw, unflinching, and very honest. It's kind of like a tribute to her father. There's also people that say that her writing is kind of flat, and that just means that the way that she writes, she's got this desire to convey her dad's life, and not every life is exciting. Just honest and precise. She's not trying to exaggerate anything. It's just honest. It is what it is, without having the need to romanticize or dramatize anything. It's just a man's life. And like I said, every paragraph was just incredible. Shame. She explores a little bit deeper on some things that happened in her childhood, and one single moment in her childhood changed the course of her whole life. How she understands family dynamic and social appearance. I don't want to tell you what it is, that event, because I want you to read it, but she reflects how this moment that brought her shame marked her adolescence, the view that she had of her parent, and of course, the perception that she had of herself. She examines how this shame that she carried is deeply connected to her family's social status, which is the working class, and also the struggles that her family had to go through to maintain respect in the community. So I feel like both of these two books, and just in general, she kind of explores a lot of this. She meditates about the complexities of our relationships, not just family, but also it could be like lover relationship, and how these bonds shape our life and who we are. So yeah, we got to the end of the video. I feel like these three authors have to kind of be read together, if that makes sense. I think they complement each other so much. So yeah, I would highly recommend that you start your collection of these three female authors, which I love so dearly. And yeah, once again, if you want to have a chance at getting Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, please comment down below. I can't wait for you to have this book and read it. Once you get the book and you've read it, please let me know what you thought. I would love to know. And yeah, again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I love you all, and I hope you have the best day. Bye.